And I never really had the feeling like, you know, okay, this place is a bit dodgy, or, you know, I don't feel really safe staying here.
So you've never had a scary experience, like, ever? I'm not talking about down south.
Yeah,
I mean,
wouldn't
like,
say scary.
around Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I wouldn't say scary, but maybe like, I would say adventurous.
Hello, that's another way to put it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say scary. I don't know. I never felt that I was in danger of any way. You know, that I never felt that way here. You know, I mean, I've been to other places also, other islands where I felt more in danger, and I felt more scared, I would say, where I felt afraid staying in a certain place, you know. But in Sri Lanka, a lot of places, I mean, I don't know, it's just, it's difficult to say. I guess it's just the people, you know. It's just that they're so kind-hearted, you know, and they're so hospitable. So it's really easy, you know. It's really easy to talk to people and, you know, to get a lot of tips on where to stay, you know. So I guess it depends on the people too.
So when Sri Lanka came on top of the list last year and also this year as a top destination, were you surprised? Or did you just tell your friends, I told you?
Well, yeah, it should have been a long time ago. You know, it should have been, you know, one of the best locations long time ago. You know, even during the war. You know, I mean, when I used to come down here during the war. Okay, the war was in Jaffna, but I never, you know, going down south and even going to Arugambe. I mean, with all the checkpoints and all that, I mean, you could see that there was a war going on. But I never felt that danger, you know. I never felt like, you know, I wouldn't come again, you know. So I think it should have been a long time ago. But actually, I'm not surprised, no, because it's so awesome, you know. It's such a great place.
So, the obvious question: would you recommend people from around the world to visit Sri Lanka? It's a simple question, but hey.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm not going to say no, for sure. I mean, anyone can come here.
You hear that, kids? He says, come on down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's everything for everyone here.
That's true.
You know, it's the youngsters, you know, it's, you know, the couples, the honeymooners, you know, there's just everything you're looking for, you can find in Sri Lanka.
And more importantly, to fit any budget.
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
Leandro, thank you so much, dude,
for
coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Giving us some amazing tips which I'm going to be using on my long weekend. Speaking of the long weekend, we have a Vesak special coming on tomorrow, but first we'll go into a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jason, back from Good Morning Sri Lanka. Now, we spoke about traveling down south with a friend before, and now we're going to speak to Tisha Varagoda and also Jakob Pringier. Two great guys who've traveled around Sri Lanka, one a photographer, but also by profession a lawyer and accountant, and another who manufactures surfboards in Sri Lanka as well. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Yeah?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning to you too. So polite, these guys. All right, so let's start with Tisha. Now, you are a lawyer and accountant by profession, but you also are a photographer, and you tend to travel around Sri Lanka, looking at places, you know, seeing the world through the eye of. How would I put it? Would you see the world differently, like in Sri Lanka? Would you see Sri Lanka differently through a camera?
Well, actually, you do. I guess it's sort of like seeing something in a different perspective, because in your head, as a photographer, you start thinking about things in a completely different way. You start noticing things that you would not normally notice. So you pay attention to detail and you see a lot of interesting things along the way.
Yeah. But okay, now, also I should mention the fact that you've been to 34 countries. You've been around the world, man. That ain't no joke. And you come back to Sri Lanka and you're looking at Sri Lanka again in a different perspective. How do you compare Sri Lanka with...
Well, I guess if you go towards Europe, it's all developed. America, it's all developed. But when you come back to Sri Lanka, you start appreciating a lot of things that you miss out when you're outside. Especially the food, the rice and curry and the pulsambol.
Yeah.
So every time I come back, the first thing I look for is pulsambol and rice and curry.
That's pretty much what I look from whenever I go home. Hey mom, can I have some pulsambol and curry? Would you get that around Sri Lanka as well? Okay, Jakob, this goes to you. What would you consider your favorite dish here in Sri Lanka? And where can you get this dish? Haha!
How about an egg hopper?
An egg hopper.
And you can get it anywhere.
The best one. Have you ever tasted like the best one where you just take a bite and you're like, oh my god, I feel so good just by eating it?
Not a specific place actually.
Okay.
Nah.
But anywhere in Sri Lanka, egg hopper. I haven't had egg hoppers in a while.
They're good everywhere.
I should try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now getting back to, you've had 3 photography exhibitions in Sri Lanka. One which is the Sights and Lights, Shades of Paradise on Horton Plains. Yeah. Great photographs. I've seen them actually. No joke. Now you've traveled again around Sri Lanka. What would you consider the best place for you to take photos for photographers? For the photographers out there, give us the best locations for them.
I guess, I mean, wherever you go in Sri Lanka, you'll get some amazing photos.
Yeah.
If you're into wildlife, you go to Yala or to Vilpattu or even to Horton Plains, you'll find some amazing stuff. At the same time, if you're into archaeology...
Oh, there are your pictures right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
That's in Prague. I think that was in 2006. That's in at the Horton Plains.
Horton Plains.
Yes, sunset.
And do you remember what sort of deer that was?
I'm sorry? That's a samba. That's a standard samba.
All right.
And that's from, the early one was from Polonnaruwa. This is Paris.
Phenomenal, man. Like these, and this
that's
one
again
here.
in the that's at Ambevela.
Okay. Ambevela.
Yeah.
Whenever
That's
I think Ambevela, I think
that's the milk.
Yeah, milk. I've heard.
That's Sigiriya, and that's Petra in Jordan.
Petra in Jordan.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
That looks like a scene straight from a movie.
Actually,
you should consider becoming like a director of photography for like feature films.
Actually, that's where I think the Indiana Jones movie was recorded.
Dude, Indiana Jones, mental high five. Awesome. All right, we just gave a mental high five, but I love Indiana Jones as well. And did you guys know, fun fact, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yep.
Shot here in Sri Lanka.
That's right.
We're not falling, we're crashing. You guys remember that quote?
Yeah.
That's amazing, right? Okay, anyways, getting back to being serious again. Jacob, tell me, now you're a surfer as well.
Yeah.
Best surf spots you've been to in Sri Lanka? Apart from Aragon Bay, which is obviously, it's the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Aragon Bay. But apart from that, what do you think?
I think Kabalana, which is between Unawatuna and Weligama,
Okay.
which is a really nice spot. It's one of the bigger, more powerful waves, I think, on the southwest coast. That's a great spot to go.
So that is your spot. That is the spot that you would
that's
recommend.
the spot that actually challenges me the most.
What is it then?
No, that's the one that challenges.
That is the one.
Yeah, that's the one that challenges me the most.
Okay.
Because like Weligama Bay has some nice waves. There's lots of space, but it's very good for learners. But Kabalana just has, it has that reef. When you're surfing out there, you see the fish swimming underneath you.
So this is considering it being a challenge for surfers.
Yes.
As well as it's a beautiful area as well.
Exactly.
So you're saying that is number one for you?
For me, that's number one. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Getting to another one. The best picture you've taken. What is the most unexpected picture that you've taken and you're like, wow, turned out great?
Well, I guess when you're into sort of like travel photography for fun sort of thing, every photo that turns out quite decent is an achievement. So along the way you do find some great photos.
Okay.
I guess one of my favorite photos is one from Anuradhapura, the sun setting behind the Ruang Valley Saya and the Jetwanarame. That's sort of like what I call the eternal sunset.
Okay.
Other than that, I guess there are times that you take a photo and you think, this is alright, but you come home and then you realize how good the photo is. So kind of like you achieve something along the way. So photography for fun also makes you achieve things.
Okay, so now you're saying you do this for fun.
Yeah.
But how far, taking fun into consideration, how far would you go to take that picture that you really want? For example, if you see a girl playing with a ball of some kind on the street and you were like, you know what, I need to get that, but I'm too far or I'm too high, how far would you go?
I'd probably run.
You would probably run towards her or would you run away?
Towards her, of course.
Nice.
Well, about a month ago, I was in Prague. We woke up at 4 in the morning, it was -1, got dressed and went out to take a photo of the Charles Bridge.
The one with the yellow car and the...
No, there was one with some fireworks.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, one time that you saw the perfect shot. You're walking down the street with your own eyes, you see the perfect shot. And you look around, you don't have your camera. Do you have a memory like that? That's happened to me countless of times.
Happens quite often.
Do you remember the one that happened? The worst one that had?
Well, I remember one where I took a photo with a point and shoot, and I thought that, hey, that's all right. But came home to see that I had missed out part of the frame that I wanted. So that's probably the only photo that I regret not getting it perfect.
By the sound of it, it sounds like one of the best shots you could ever ask for. All right, so Jakob, tell me, again, going back into traveling around Sri Lanka, the best place that you've ever stayed in? Haha. I've known that, well, for me, down south is like usually where a lot of Colombo folk go. But the best place you've stayed in the hill country or, further up north?
I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Bauer, of his hotels, and so I think in the Kandalama Hotel, which is called the Heritons, I think now, something like that. And that's like in the rocks. I think it's an eco resort. It's a very beautiful hotel.
All right, great. So now if you're traveling down, for example, if you go to Kandy, you don't take photographs, by the way, do you?
I do, but it's more for my other job, which is a designer. I actually do furniture design.
You do so you never taken pictures outdoors?
No, I do, but that's more family and friends. I don't actually capture like him the moment of a beautiful sunset. It's more when I take pictures of my friends and family. And the other photography is more for my job, which is in furniture.
Okay, right. Anyways, getting back into tourism again.
Sorry about
no, it's fine. Now, there's another sport that's going pretty well in Sri Lanka is kite surfing as well.
Yeah.
And now, you being a surfer, what are your thoughts on that? Is it easier for a surfer in Sri Lanka to learn kite surfing, or is it harder? Is it just going back to the basics? Back to 101 of riding on the water?
You mean on surfing or kite surfing?
On both. Like from a surfer to go into kite surfing.
Into kite surfing. No, I think it's all to do with these kind of skate and glide sports or slide sports, like skateboarding, surfing, kite surfing, windsurfing, all that kind of stuff. It's all about that balance and that feeling that you have on the water or on the snow. And the only thing that you have with a kite is that you have that kite to manage also. So there's a couple of extra things to think about when you're kite surfing. But there's some great schools now in Kalpitya. It's really become a hub for kite surfing because there's so much wind there. And now that the infrastructure is there and all the little guest houses are there and instructors, it's very easy to learn there.
All right, now my last question to both of you. Your favorite place in Sri Lanka?
Hottenplairs.
Hottenplairs. Your favorite place in Sri Lanka?
Waligama.
Right, all right. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. And I think I've opened my eyes into what Sri Lanka is all about. And I've already but you guys opened it much more. Anyways, we'll be right back after this commercial break. But remember, tomorrow we have a Wessex special. So do keep in mind that we will have that tomorrow as well. But yeah, we're going to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.